Hello, everyone. We are very excited and honored to have Jada Michael as our guest today. Jada is a LGBTQ R&B singer-songwriter and recently debuted her official video for Freak, which has been praised by Billboard, V Magazine, Out Magazine, and more. Without filter or fear, Jada Michael unapologetically projects a confident spirit within her music, anchored in a body positive, sex positive, and self positive presence. Jada's music has amassed over 2 million streams independently, and initial compositions, Beautiful and Special, caught the attention of many high profile Grammy Award winning producers and musicians. Empowering audiences by wholeheartedly and courageously showing herself, Jada strives to represent plus size women, LGBTQ women, and Black women. She is proud of her body type, sexuality, and skin, and wants her listeners to feel confident through her music. Welcome, Jada, and thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
We're so excited to have you as well. So let's get into it. What are some of the challenges you've experienced as an up-and-coming artist in the music industry?
Definitely something that not just myself, but I think all artists have to deal with when they first get in is being very persistent and patient. I'm not going to lie, I've been doing this for a while and things have just started to kind of pick up. Mm-hmm. So as long as the patience is there, just kind of the normal issues with the industry. I've had people try to create versions of me that they feel more comfortable with or that they think that will come across as more popular. Mm-hmm. But I've honestly found that the more that I express myself, the more success that I have anyway. So I'm glad to say that a lot of the issues that I thought would hinder me a lot actually haven't been too difficult as long as I, put my hand up, shush the commotion. And yeah, overall, I've loved the experience. I've loved it.
That's awesome. And would you mind sharing some of those things that you thought you would be faced with?
Yeah, definitely have been approached. For example, like a specific example, I was recording a music video was that 2-3 years ago? Oh, Lord have mercy, time flies. Mm-hmm. But I was recording a music video, and in my notes to the director, I made a little comment saying I would like the dancers to be a range of ethnicities and body types. And I got like a big, whoa, girl, what you doing? Like, you're already big. You're already, different. We don't want the video to be overwhelming.
God forbid more than one, curvier.
Right. Literally the world freaking exploded. So that was probably the first time someone so directly said it to me. Usually people will make little comments, suggest the thinner woman, suggest the lighter complexion women, things like that. But that was the first time someone really came at me and went, girl, no, you will not be successful if you do it this way. Mm-hmm. And I'm happy to say I kind of just persisted, but that's like a little example of people being scared of kind of the person that I am and the route that I want to take. And yeah, that's a good example. Annoying, pointless. And I'm certain that having those kinds of girls in my videos, girls like me, did not affect my success whatsoever. People are just paranoid. They're really scared.
And if anything, we always talk about more diversity and representation in the media. And so if you,
Exactly. You get me, girl. You know how it is. Yeah. Scared.
So where does your inspiration for your music come from?
That question, I feel like kind of lucky. It's a corny answer, but my drive for music and to make music is something that I've always felt connected with. It's kind of just felt like a natural calling. And I'm really happy to say that because it's so scary in this life trying to find what you want to do and stuff like that. But I'm just blessed to know that music has always been just like my right-hand man, basically. As soon as I was aware of what I was listening to and the power that it possessed, I was like all in from the time I was a child. My parents have amazing music taste, so I've always been exposed to it. And yeah, it's just been a natural thing. It feels very much connected with who I am. So my inspiration to live and love life is connected with my inspiration to do music.
That's wonderful. Yeah. And what pressures do you feel, if any, to be the spokesperson for the communities you identify with?
I really love that you guys asked that question because I constantly have a dilemma about, am I just expressing myself, or do I have a job that comes with it? And I think that there's beauty in both, but also pressure. I put a lot of pressure on myself to be a representative. I'm not going to lie. I want to be careful about what I show to the public and the things that I say, because I found a lot of people seem to be inspired and connecting with my brand and who I am. And I really, really don't want to disappoint them. Or like, let's say something that the language comes across as offensive or non-inclusive. So I put a lot of pressure on myself, but I actually think that's a good thing. I do try to avoid feeling the pressure from the outside world. I'm giving back to my communities and representing them because I love them. But at the end of the day, this is very much my musical legacy, and it's going to look however it's going to look. It was funny you said that. I've had dilemmas about the way my body changes and the way that it will be perceived. You know what I mean? You gain weight and, there's some people who are supporting it, some people who are looking down on you. You lose weight, and some of the people who supported you for your body type now feel like you're selling out. So it's just very complicated. And I think as long as I focus on myself and what makes me feel comfortable, that I've really enjoyed representing the Black community, the gay community, the plus size community. It's been a beautiful experience, and I definitely will continue to do that in my career.
Yeah, and I love that you just tune out the haters, and your motivation and the pressure that you give yourself is to do better and to be a great representation for these communities, not to be kind of this umbrella and this overall
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's too much pressure. It's too much pressure to get into like the nitpicky things that people want. I will say that, but for the most part, my needs for myself very much align with what my communities want to see from me. So it's been nice.
It's wonderful. Yeah. And what message of self-love would you like to send to the NEDA community?
I like that question. There's so much I want to say and so much I feel. So looking for the words on that is definitely difficult. I guess that I just want to obviously remind people of their beauty, but more bring some light to the fact that this society that we live in, that creates these regulations for what is acceptable and what is not, is, okay, I was about to curse, is an effing farce. It is created by hateful, judgmental people who at no point have had any interest in supporting real, powerful, empowered women. And obviously it's easier said than done to find that power within yourselves, but every one of us deserves to love ourselves. Our body is a vessel for our souls, and to do anything other and appreciate it, even though it's so tempting, I hope everyone can get to a place where they can connect with what they deserve, because the rules and the guidelines that society has put on ourselves are just confusing, make no sense. And a lot of people will say they're promoting health and they want people to be healthy. And the logic isn't there. The logic is in self-love. The logic is in giving yourself what you deserve. So I'll just remind people that, they deserve everything and more that any person with any body type also deserves.
Yeah, you can't shame yourself or shame someone else into loving themselves. It contradicts each other. Yeah.
Exactly. The logic isn't there. And the road to health and to happiness is one of acceptance of yourself. You will not be able to, get where you deserve to be if you're still in that place of self-hate that I'm sure no one has put on themselves, but just basically shame on the people who have caused you to look down on yourself. And yeah.
Yeah. And as you're speaking, one of the things that's coming to mind is, we talk about some of these things that prevent women, especially from rising up in their careers and their personal lives. And imagine all that time that someone could.
Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. Imagine all that time that someone spends on trying to shame themselves into loving themselves. If they could spend that time and actually better their careers. So without you focusing on kind of the nitty gritty, you have more time to really focus on your goals and your dreams.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like you said, like the nitty gritty, like the details, the obsession that comes with, you know, dieting and judging your body. It's crazy. Like I can speak a little bit to my experience with coming into my comfort with my body. I just kind of had a moment of realization in kind of, I guess I'd say high school, that a lot of the rules that I was judging myself with were not rules that I even agree with. I'll see plus size women and think, wow, beautiful, inspiring, stunning, sexy, all of the above. And then for some reason, I wasn't able to give that same kind of appreciation to myself. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of enlightening, but also scary moment of realization of, wow, if I'm not really persistent about loving myself and appreciating myself, these other voices can completely take over my mind. So, you know, I'm lucky to say I was able to get out of that period of shame and confusion about just the experience I was having with my body type. And as soon as I realized that I was going to make my own rules based on my own perception of beauty, you know, I found so much peace. And that's when I was able to start being like, okay, honey, I'm wearing what I want. I'm eating what I want, where I want, in front of who I want. It was just an important lesson for me to know that I'm creating these guidelines. I'm making these rules. And they not once have ever added up with any of the rules that society has created for me. So it's difficult, but it's so possible. It's so possible.
So is there anything else you want to add before we wrap up? I'm going to ask how people can find you.
I think I will take a minute. I obviously haven't thought this through, but it's just like when I'm realizing the community I'm speaking to, like it really does mean a lot to me. Mm-hmm. I guess I can maybe leave some tips. I feel like that's something very usable and like something that, you know, people can bring into their daily lives in an everyday way, even if they don't even watch this whole clip, like just some things that can stay with them. One of my first tips about coming into yourself and becoming comfortable with your body would be to explore the fashion that you have previously decided that does not apply to you. That was a big aha moment for me. I would put on little tight dresses and things like that very privately in my room, my sister's bikini, stuff like that. And I would really like how it looked. But when I had to envision that step of leaving the house and showing that to the world, I felt completely panicked for years. And the more that even within a personal space, I explored allowing myself to look in the mirror and enjoy my body and the way that it was, it really helped me be able to, I just kind of had a F it moment one day. And I said, I'm fucking doing this. I'm wearing it. I was uncomfortable as shit the first times. And now I can't be stopped as far as what I'm wearing. My dad, my mom, everyone knows it. Let Jada wear what she wants to wear. So just dipping your toe in, and even if it feels uncomfortable, even if you're in a private space, that as far as fashion, but also as far as things like holding yourself in a loving way, saying positive things in the mirror, at first it'll be so uncomfortable, but dip your toe in every day and exercise that muscle of appreciating and loving yourself. And it really can strengthen despite any kind of eating experience that you've had. Yeah, I guess that would be my little note to all the girls and guys out there is, just give it a try. Even if it doesn't feel comfortable, with time and persistence, you can transform the way that you see yourself and the way that you love yourself.
That is such a beautiful and important message. I could listen to you talk all day long. Thank you so much. Really, truly. Mm-hmm. So I guess to wrap up, how can people find you and your music on social media and music streaming platforms?
I'm on basically all social media and music streaming platforms. I'm the most active on Instagram. My Instagram is Jada Michael. There I do like some live conversations and like more interactive stuff like that. So that's where I'm the most present. I'm also on Twitter, Jada Michael 19, and you can find my music basically anywhere: YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud. If you look up Jada Michael, you'll definitely find me.
Well, thank you again, Jada, and thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did, and we will see you next time on NEDA Connections.
Thank
Bye.
you for having me. Bye.
Bye. Now, how do I stop this recording?
We'll crop it. Okay, cool.
I might just end it. Oh.